Okay, we are live. Just waiting outside of the store because I had to waiting for my folks to finish running some errands. But we are live, and this live will mainly focus on one thing. All right, the one thing that pisses me off in fighters. Now, there's a lot of things. I love playing Dragon Ball Fighterz. I honestly do. I love playing the game. I love Dragon Ball. All right, but there's a lot of things that pisses me off in fighters. All right. In fact, I can name 101 things that piss me off in fighters. But the one thing that really pisses me off in fighters, okay, is what I like to call the ultimate disrespect in fighters. Why am I sweating? Damn, it's hot outside. The ultimate disrespect in fighters. Now, I know Lotus, who plays this game as well, he mentions in a lot of his videos that, you know what, if you were to be in a match against me, and if you key charge, during a match and while facing off against me, that is disrespect. For me, I think the ultimate disrespect is when you have opponent just stand there for the whole duration of the match. This is what I like to call a pity win. Okay, now pity win, with regards to fighting games, is when, like I said, your opponent stands there for the whole duration of the match, and basically that's their way of saying, to me, hey, you know what? I destroyed you so many times. I'm gonna give you this free win. I'm gonna hand you this free win by standing there. Okay? That does not work with me. That does not work. And to me, like I said, it's the ultimate disrespect, because I don't need a player's pity to give me a pity win. I would much rather suck at the game at this point than to have someone give me a pity win. Okay? I don't fucking take pity wins. All right? If you're going to just stand there for the whole duration of the match, then you might as well just not play. Because I know for one thing for a fact that if that's the case, I'm not going to play. I'm willing to throw. I have no problem throwing a match away. I don't. Because you know what, like, I don't play as competitively as much as I used to. Mainly because I realized the fact that I'm not gonna make it past Super Saiyan 2 rank. Super Saiyan 2 rank is the curse. Is the curse rank for me. And every time I make it to Super Saiyan 2 rank, I lose the rank right away and get demoted back to Android rank. So pretty much I just gave up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play casually. Fuck the BP points. Fuck the battle rank. I'm just going to play casually. Win or lose, let's just have fun. As long as I can play this game without any lag and have fun while doing it, and have some good matches while doing it, or decent matches while I'm doing it, that's all it really is. Because at the end of the day, a match is a match. A game is a game. Right? And like I said, if you're going to throw away the whole duration of the match by just standing there, I'm willing to do the same thing. I have no problem throwing away a match. Because it happened to me with one of the opponents that I faced. I said, you know what? I'm going to just keep rematching, find an opponent, and I'm just going to keep rematching an opponent until they say no rematch. Usually I don't do this. This is a ballsy move, and I'll tell you why it is a ballsy move. Because if you keep rematching your opponent, if your opponent knows how you play, they can pick it up. And when they pick it up, they'll know how to counter you. And basically you're just, you are putting your points on the line. So when I used to play competitively, I used to play like, okay, you know what? I'll just do like maybe 1-2 matches or 3 matches at the most. If I win them all, or if I win like 2 out of 3 or something like that, I'm just going to say no rematch and move on to the next opponent. But I realize I'm playing casually now, so I'm like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to keep rematching my opponent until my opponent says no rematch. And like I said, it's a ballsy move. It's a ballsy move on my part. But you know what? That's just, I learned through this game, you gotta be ballsy. So I rematched this guy a couple of times, several times to be honest. I don't know how many rounds we won. At least I would say 10 rounds, and I lost basically all 10 rounds, pretty much. Or was it like 9 out of 10 rounds I lost? I know I'm trash. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep rematching you. I'm not, as annoyed as I am losing all these matches, I honestly at the same time I don't give a fuck. So I'm just gonna keep rematching you, and I'm just gonna mash. I'm gonna be like one of those players that just mash buttons, cause I've come across a lot of players that really like to mash buttons, in fighters, and those are the players that really don't care about, winning or losing, or they don't care about, blocking. Like they just want to, just mash and, get it out of the way. And I've come across some players like that. I know I've seen players like that face off against guys like Lotus and Cloud. So I know. And so I select rematch. He agrees to a rematch. Now the fight begins. We have 300 seconds, I think. 300 seconds to finish the fight, which is more than enough time. As soon as the fight begins, this guy just stands there, and I'm like, okay, is what is he doing? Like, is he not gonna stand? Is he gonna play, or is he gonna just stand there? And at first I thought, you know what, maybe, there's something wrong with this controller or his, arcade stick. Or maybe like, his something was disconnected. And so I give him about a few minutes, a few seconds or a few minutes to, connect it back, and, continue it. We can continue. We can play. That never happened. He fucking stood there for the whole entire match, and then I got mad. I'm like, you know what? Okay, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to give me a pity win. He's trying to, throw away this match so that I can win, because, and by doing so, he thinks that he's doing me a favor. Listen, if you think you're doing me a favor, if players who think that they're going to stand there for the entire duration of the match and throw me a win, they think they're doing me a favor, and you're not. All right, you're just pissing me off as a player, I'm just getting more pissed off as a player. Like I said, I don't fucking take pity wins, dude. All right, if you want to stand there, there's a difference between standing there for the whole duration of the match, and there's a difference between throwing the match away near the end of the match. When you throw away a match near the end of the match, right? If it's near the end of the match, and you just stand there and you throw it away, I understand, because it's out of frustration, right? It's out of frustration. It's out of anger. It's out of rage. You think to yourself, oh, you know what? Like, I can't win against this guy. I'm just, the match is almost done anyways. I already lost this match. I'm just gonna throw it away, right? Like that I understand. I've done it before. I'll be honest. Like I've done it before. I've been in situations where it's near the end of the match, and then and I'm like, okay, you know what? I can't win this match. I'm really frustrated. I'm just gonna stand there and just give him the win. Right? I've done it before. I've seen players do that to me as well. I've seen other players do that too. I've come across other players that do that too. There's a difference between that and throwing away the whole duration of the match. Right? If you throw away the match near the end of the match, that tells me that, okay, you know what? You're probably frustrated or something, like you can't win, or you know you can't win, so you're just gonna give me the win. Right? That's fine. I'll take it. But if you're gonna stand there for the whole duration of the match and just give me the win, you know, fuck, man. Like I'm not gonna play. You know, like I even mentioned this in the recording right after, because I had this match recorded. I mentioned it in the recording. I said, you know what? Like I was having fun rematching this dude until he fucking did that. Like until he, you know, stood there for whole duration of the match and threw it and tried to give me a pity win. You know, that's the one thing that really pisses me off when it comes to fighters, not only in fighters but just fighting games in general. Right? Like if you're gonna give me a pity win, like at this point I would much rather fucking suck at the game than, you know, have someone give me a pity win. I don't fucking do that. Like if I'm gonna win a match, I'm gonna win by two players playing, actually playing. Right? Like even if I'm going to lose a match, I would much rather lose a match with both players playing than have, you know, some fucking idiot, you know, stand there for the whole duration of the match and just give it to me. Right? Like I don't take handed wins, man. I don't know, just to me it feels cheap. All right? If you're going to give me a handed win, or as I like to call it, a pity win, that to me tells me that, okay, you know what? You suck at the game. I'm gonna let you have this one. You can have this free win. It's on the house. It's on me. You know, I'm like, you know what? And I remember coming off of that match that day several days ago. I'm like, you know what? This fucking guy, like, this motherfucker, he has the gall to stand there and give me a fucking win. You know, that was the one win I didn't want. I'm serious. Like that was the one win I didn't want. I actually won that match. I don't know how I won that match because I barely touched the guy. I barely touched his characters, but apparently I won that match, and boy was I mad. Was I fucking mad. Like that was the one win I didn't want, and I'm like, dog, you're gonna give you seriously just did that. Like I had fun fighting you, but you know what? I don't think I'm gonna rematch you again. Like I had fun rematching you until you went off and you did this shit. So you know what? I was like, you know what? I got so mad. I was like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. Like if you want to just give me like a pity win, like I'm not playing. Like I would at this point I would much rather me lose. Okay? I would much rather have myself lose and suck at the game rather than give me a pity win. I don't take pity wins. I don't take handed wins. If I'm going to win a match, I'm going to do it I'm gonna do it by both parties playing. I'm not gonna, you know, just, you know, do that. You know, like it feels to me it feels cheap. It feels like, you know, it feels like I'm being disrespected in when it comes to fighting games like that. And not only that, but it feels like, you know what? It feels like the opponent's way of telling me that, hey, here's a free win for you because you suck at the game. At this point, I would much rather suck at the game than fucking take a free win. Like, I don't do that shit. And Like, if I'm gonna play or if I'm gonna lose a match, I would much rather lose a match with both parties playing. You know, it's even if like, and the thing, what really pissed me off even more is like, you agreed to the rematch. You agreed to the rematch, and then you're gonna go off and you're gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like, you agreed to a fucking rematch, and then you're gonna go ahead, and then you're gonna throw the match away for the entire duration of the match, giving me a free win. Like, that is fucking annoying, man. That is the one thing that really, really pisses me off in fighters. Like, I can't stand that shit, man. I know the first time it happened, I thought the guy's controller was disconnected or something. So I was like, why is your control I remember because he used I think he used base Vegeta. Or was it, or did I use base Vegeta? I don't know, but this was the very first time it happened. So the very first time it happened, I thought the guy's controller was disconnected. So I'm like, okay, dude, your controller must be disconnected. Sucks for you. I'm sorry to do this, but I'm gonna have to take this win. Um, and then after I won the match that day, this is the first time it happened. Keep in mind, I realized, wait a minute, he was trying to give me a pity win. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not taking pity wins anymore. I don't fall for that anymore. And behold, several days ago, some fucking idiot with the team of Jiren, Base Goku, and what's that guy's other name? I forgot the last member of his team, but he goes and he does that same shit, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I know what he's trying to do. Like, at first I thought his controller was disconnected, but then I gave him a few minutes and I'm like, okay, his controller's not disconnected. There's nothing wrong with this controller. There's nothing wrong with this arcade stick or whatever. However the fuck he's playing fighters with. He's trying to give me a free win. All right? Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Actually, you know what? Like, I actually did this to somebody. I don't do this to anybody. Right? Like, when standing there for the whole duration of the match, as much as I hate it, I'm going to be honest, I do this to other players too. So I'll give you a good example. There's a player that I came across. He won like the first two matches, right? He won like the first two matches, and then I send him like a Z stamp. It was like It wasn't one of those insulting Z stamps, but I sent them a Z stamp. But then he sends me a Z stamp, which was one of his insulting ones, and then I'm like, okay, you know what, bro, if you're gonna insult me like that, I'm gonna give you the ultimate disrespect. I'm gonna give you what I like to call the pity win. So I click rematch. He agrees to it, and I just stand there for the whole duration of the match, and this guy fucking rage quits. This guy fucking rage quit. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you better rage quit. Like, I don't mind people sending me Z stamps, but if I'm gonna send you a nice Z stamp, don't send me an insulting Z stamp. You know what I mean? Like, cause if I don't send you an insulting Z stamp, and you send me an insulting Z stamp, I'm gonna give you the ultimate disrespect, and I'm gonna give you the pity win. And by throwing the whole duration of the match away, like I said, I have no problem throwing the match away, right? As much as I hate opponents doing this shit to me, I tend to do it to opponents only if I were to get insulted. Like, if an opponent were to insult me out of nowhere, then I would do it. But if a player does not insult me, and we're just having a good time, we play. Like, it's just, we play, you know? But this is one of the things, like, this is the one thing absolutely hate about fighters, man. Like, I don't I fucking don't take pity wins. Like, if you're gonna give me a pity win, you know what? Get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not gonna play anymore. You know, like, don't stand there for the whole duration of the match and expect me to take the win from you. Like, I don't take handed wins. If I'm gonna win a match, I like it earned. I don't like it given to me. You know, I'm not that kind of a player. But anyways, that's just pretty much what I wanted to get off my shoulders, because it's it's really been bothering me for the past couple of days. You know. But yeah, other than that, Ultra Instinct Goku is coming out. I can't wait. We're gonna see what he has. I mean, I've seen a lot of gameplays for him, because I know in some parts of the world they already have Ultra Instinct Goku, so I've seen the gameplay. Uh, I think this coming week or next week, Ultra Instinct Goku comes. We're gonna be doing some teams. We're gonna be playing around with them, and we're gonna be playing around with some other teams. That's, like I said, that's the beauty of playing casually. That's the beauty of, you know, not caring about, you know, battle rank or battle points anymore. Is I can play around with different teams that I don't normally do. I can mix and match different people around, or mix and match different characters around, and play around with those teams. You know, and I just hope, like, I don't come across any players, you know, that are willing to give me free handed out wins. Like like I said, I don't do that, you know? Like, if I mean, it's other players that want to move up the ranks and rack up the points. Me, I don't give a fuck, right? Which is why I'm saying I have no problem throwing a match. I don't. So, listen, if I come across any players because when Ultra Instant Goku comes out, I'm gonna be taking them online in ranked matches, and if I come across any players that are gonna be giving me free handed out wins, that okay, and by that I mean stand there for the whole duration of the match. You know what? Like, fuck you. Like, I'm just gonna throw away the match. I'm not gonna play. Because if some players are willing to give me a free-handed win and stand there for the whole duration of the match and throw away the win, and give me like a free-handed pity win, I'm willing to do the same thing. I'm willing to throw the match as well. Like, it's most of these players, they're the ones that want to move up the ranks. Me, like I said, I don't give a fuck anymore. So whether I win or lose, I could care less if I move up the ranks or not. Which is why, like I said, I have nothing to lose when it comes to playing fighters, ranked matches, you know. But anyways, we got Ultra Instant Goku coming next week, or this coming, no, next week. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, I'm going to be showcasing him and showcasing his dramatic finish with Kefla. So I be on the lookout for that.